Look at this document. It is an 18th century land indenture. For most researchers, this wall of dense, continuous cursive is a document that stops research before it begins. But inside this block of text are precise instructions. If you know how to read them, you can translate this legal jargon into the exact geographic coordinates of your ancestor's farm. And beyond the physical location, the text reveals the social structure of the settlement. Mastering the meets and bounds survey system allows you to take an old, confusing legal receipt and turn it into a physical footprint on the map and a map of your family tree. To start translating, you need 5 specific tools: a typed transcription of your deed, graph paper, a pencil, a ruler, and a 180-degree protractor. This Gunter's chain is the physical tool surveyors dragged through the woods to measure Appalachian properties. You must know its measurements. 1 chain equals exactly 66 feet. You will also see the term pole, exactly 16.5 feet, or a quarter chain. Extract the measurements from your deed into a table with 3 columns: bearing, distance, and corner. Read the text and pull out each line segment. For example, north 45 degrees east, 12 chains to a white oak. Log that exact data in your row. Standardizing these chaotic historical measurements into a clean data table is a mandatory step. You have to organize the numbers before you can accurately put pencil to paper. Now you are ready to draw the shape of the property, a process called platting. To keep your drawing manageable, set a standard scale. 1 millimeter on your ruler will equal 1 chain of distance. Line up your protractor north to south on your graph paper, mark the angle from your table, and draw the scaled distance. Repeating this for every line, your final shape likely won't connect perfectly back to the start. This is a completely normal closure error. This 1752 land division plan shows the reality of early surveying. Surveyors were dragging heavy chains up steep, uneven Appalachian hillsides using magnetic compasses. Small measurement errors were built into the process, so if your shape leaves a gap, do not worry. A less than perfect, open shape represents the authentic historical reality of the land, not a failure of your drawing skills. Now you have a floating shape, but you need to place it on a modern map. The problem is that the physical markers surveyors use to anchor these properties, like wooden stakes and blazed trees, rotted away long ago. To solve this, courts and surveyors rely on the hierarchy of calls. This rule dictates that permanent natural monuments, like creeks or ridges, take priority over mathematical compass bearings if the two conflict. Even the tree species mentioned in the deed provide evidence about the environment. If a corner is marked by a tulip poplar, the land was likely in a rich, moist bottomland. If it calls for a chestnut, that corner was probably up on a dry ridge. This topographic map shows elevation contours and permanent water sources. Watercourses are the most stable boundaries in Appalachia. By matching the creeks and hollows named in your deed to the streams on a modern map, you can lock your drawn plat into its true location. By anchoring the curves and meanders of your drawn property to the physical watercourses on a modern map, you permanently locate your ancestor's isolated farm on the globe. With the geography solved, you can move on to the genealogy. Genealogists use the term fan club to describe the social network of friends, associates, and neighbors surrounding an ancestor. Because early surveys tied new plots to existing ones, these specific people are permanently recorded in the land boundary descriptions. The first high-value role to identify is the adjoining landowner. Whenever a property line ran alongside an existing farm, the surveyor recorded that neighbor's name to anchor the deed. The second role is the sworn chain carrier. These were the men who physically carried the measuring chain for the surveyor, and they were almost always immediate neighbors drafted to help. Early Appalachian families migrated in tight clusters. When you see a neighbor with the same surname sharing a property line with your ancestor, it is strong circumstantial evidence of kinship, like a brother or a cousin who traveled with them. The physical boundary lines of this agricultural farm double as the documented social borders of a historical family community. You have successfully turned an unreadable block of text into a geographic footprint and identified a list of familial suspects. Your next step is to take this list of neighbor names and perform a deed abstract canvass at the county courthouse or online archives. By systematically pulling and reading every local land record attached to those specific names, You can see if they bought land together or witnessed each other's documents. This is how you convert circumstantial hints into documented proof of kinship. Understanding meets and bounds surveys is the single most powerful method for resurrecting the forgotten lives and physical locations of early Appalachian ancestors.
Thanks for watching. Please join us again next time for more history from the mountains. Don't forget to like and subscribe,